with Breece Hall. We've got the running back for the New York Jets, only 24. He's, been moving up in drafts here recently. Pete and I talked about that a little bit earlier in the week, but my question is where's his value right now? We've got news from the coaching staff talking about how they're going to use all three running backs in the backfield to kind of create a three-headed monster. And then on top of that, Coach, there's also some rumors that Breece Hall could be moved, and they make a play for Ashton Genty with the 7th overall pick. My question is it a buy or is it a sell window? Coach, what's your thoughts?
Well, I do think obviously Breece Hall's value is lower now than it was this time a year ago, without a doubt. Depends on if you're a believer in Breece Hall, like I know you are a little bit when it comes to this. Like, his value is so low that now's a good time to make a play to go buy him. But if I'm a Breece Hall owner, I'm probably going to look to move off of him if I can and sell him if possible.
Yeah, for me, I think I might be looking to buy, and just because the rumor mill is going to kind of impact his value. We'll have to see what happens, but I do think that people are going to overreact to this news. My understanding of it is there's nothing concrete. The idea that it's going to be a committee backfield is not uncommon to what we already see in the NFL every single week in most backfields. So Braylon Allen doesn't necessarily scare me. He's definitely going to have his workload, but Breece Hall, we're just 2 years removed where he was RB4 overall, scored 250 fantasy points. He had 95 targets. Now, I was trying to figure out if Justin Fields' check down rate is out there, and it's a little bit difficult just because he had so many games where he just appeared and wasn't actually the starter and was just in some running packages, but he actually had a decent check down rate, and it was above that of Aaron Rodgers. So if that just ticks up even slightly, he's got an incredible value in the receiving game. So I'm actually interested in if I can go and buy him. And when we look at this draft class, yes, the running backs are absolutely talented and this class is loaded. But if you're sitting at the back end of the first round and we get 3 or 4 guys that get drafted pretty early, you're not going to get him at the 108. You know what I mean? You're going to have to make a play for an established back. And I think Breece Hall might be that guy, especially given now that people are kind of starting to fade him.
Yeah, and I think if I'm a Breece Hall owner, I'm sort of just sitting there and waiting to see what I can get for him. Like, if I can get a decent return, then I would be willing to move him. I guess my question to you is, what would that return look like? Like, what would you be willing to give up to get Breece Hall?
I think his value is going to be somewhere between a first and a second at least. You're going to have to get a plus on top of that. This is kind of where you're going to have to play the game with the news right now. And I think if you have that 107, 108, and you're a running back needy team, I would offer that and maybe a future first or a second and just a random dart throw piece to the other side just to see if you can capitalize off that news. Because there's a lot of love out there for Braylon Allen. I know Tyler, who's with us, he likes both of these guys, and he thinks both of them are going to have a role in the offense. So I think there's a way to capitalize on that and go make a move. But, Coach, if you were offered, let's say, the 105 and the 203, would you be interested?
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, how could you not consider that, especially coming off the news that we're hearing right now? I just think now, sometimes when it comes to these guys, it's just the market fluctuates so much that now's a great time to make a play for him, and the owner is a little bit scared too, so there's a chance he's willing to give him up right here as well. So I mean, that's what makes things so interesting this time of year.
Yeah, and we'll see how it all plays out. But I think given the way that everything's trending, he's kind of turning into a buy for me, which is interesting because normally I wouldn't say that. But I'm looking to capitalize off this news just based on all the uncertainty going around. If I can definitely get some, cheap value off of that. But we've got Pete in here. He says, "What's up, fellas? How's it going, Pete? Thanks for jumping in." We've also got Joe who tuned in. Thanks for being in here, Joel. So we'll keep going through. If you guys have any players you want us to talk about, throw them in the comments. We'll start going through those. But let's just jump to our next guy, Coach. And let's talk